So, how are you guys? And how you're doing in this quarantine? Let's see some works of architect Bassem. Bassem is an architecture engineer. He has passion for Arabesque and Islamic art. So he started to draw some beautiful piece of arts. As you can see here, there's a lot of examples, and you see now there's a lot of panels. You can use it for decoration, for your interior, for the living room, and for everything. And today we're gonna show you some introduction on the Islamic art and its relation with architecture. Bassem will show us a small example on how to start your drawing and what is the best way to start.
Yeah, so how are you?
I'm good. How are you? How's
تمام
how's your work? How's
الحمد
everything?
لله.
I'm good.
والله
الحمد لله.
تمام ماشي الحال. Everything's good. And we are spending our quarantine on site. And so yeah.
I hope you
How are
did
you spending your
a
quarantine?
nice introduction about myself and not
I guess
because
I
I
guess
didn't
you
hear it.
you will see what I said on YouTube. We'll upload this live on YouTube when it's done, and everyone
Okay.
will watch it, inshallah. So, Bassem, how are you spending this quarantine? What are you doing?
Well, Arabesque mainly.
Arabesque, yeah?
I'm
And
يعني, during the interview I will what I'm doing right now. Mainly it's Arabesque because at home you'll be doing nothing, and
yeah, of
in
course.
my architectural job hold in architecture, so there's no projects going on. There's no sites, so and I will start and I
So,
will speak about the tutorials I began, so everyone can also be productive during this quarantine.
okay, so Bassem, who is Bassem? Why you chose architecture, and why you moved from architecture to Islamic art, and how can you relate Islamic art to architecture? The floor is yours.
Okay, thank you very much. First, I'm going to introduce myself. I'm Bassem Zawdeh. I am from Tripoli, Lebanon. I don't know if you're from Lebanon. It's a really small country where Jad is from. uh, and yes, I was born before. I'm not really old because maybe I look old. And I was born
Was the
in a
youngest
family that really.
was the
I
youngest
was
in
the
class.
youngest in class. Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, I was born in a family that really appreciates arts. So when I was young, I used to watch my father do arts. He wasn't specialized in Arabesque or Islamic arts, but he did in general. So I really grew up doing or appreciating arts and admiring arts and practicing arts. To do sketches everywhere on my books, on my tape. So it was a passion for me. In 2009, I was sitting in the back of one of my classes, and it was a really boring class. So I started doing symmetrical shapes. I really didn't know what I was drawing, but I was symmetrical. And this is when the Islamic arts passion began. It was developed in time. In 2009, and I started doing these symmetrical shapes everywhere on my book, on the table in class, and I used to sit at home or maybe in my summer house during night to draw these symmetrical shapes that I really don't understand. And I don't understand why I'm doing them. And every time each person will see me drawing, he will say, "You have to go and study architecture." So I had this idea in mind to study architecture, but I had no clue about what architecture is. Nothing. Even when I went to the university and to apply to architecture, I had no clue. I didn't even do a small search about what until the first semester was done. I really knew what architecture was. So during my architecture years, I continued sitting in the back of the class and drawing symmetrical shapes. But at that time, I knew what Arabesque was, or Islamic art was, and I understood what I was doing, but I wasn't doing any in their rules. It was like something I enjoy doing, and they were not based on any rule. So in my fifth year, in my senior year, I was finishing one of my juries. And I went back home. All my friends, they went back to sleep, as you know, after a jury, and all the architecture students and architects, fellow colleagues, are listening. You know how jury is really tough for an architect. You spend nights to work for this jury, and then you go sleep for some other days afterwards. So I went back home. I didn't sleep that day, but I went to the bookstore and I bought a canvas and I bought some pens and pencils, and I started my first Islamic art frame or artwork. And I have it with me here if you want to see it. This was my first work. It's big, actually.
Wow.
I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Look, guys, to these details. Please make it closer to the camera. Yes, just to show the details.
This was my first one, and it was really random.
Wow.
I will say how I really did it. Yeah. So back then I went back home and I started drawing, and I had no clue what I was drawing. I didn't plan what to draw. I just had this canvas in front of me, and I started drawing from the center. You know, every art or Arabesque starts from the center. So I started from the center, doing the circle and then dividing the circle. And it was floral shapes mainly, but some geometry. And my senior year, I don't know if I'm speaking a lot of details. Am I?
No, it's okay.
Am I speaking details?
I'm enjoying it.
We're
enjoying it, I guess. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So I went back. And my architecture senior year continued. And when I finished it, and my sister's birthday was coming up, so I decided to make her another artwork. It was my second one. Drew her name in the middle, and I just did some Islamic arts all around it. And I posted it on Facebook. So when I posted it, like minutes later, I had a call from someone, and he commissioned to him my first artwork, and this is how it began.
I guess
so I did him. My first. Really? Okay.
Yes. Okay.
It was in 2016, so it's 4 years ago. But yeah, I forgot that before doing this first artwork, I decided to. So I sculpted on wood.
Nice.
It really succeeded because sculpting on wood was first of all it's really messy and it's dirty, so you have to have your own studio. And my mom was really nagging about how a lot of dust was coming out. And I have something to show you. This is one of my works in sculpting. I did this.
Nice.
If you want to see it's like a simple sculpture. And I also went to a wood. I told him I want something that you want to throw out. I just practice anything. So I really got these wood pieces and I started sculpting on them, but I really didn't get the details that I really need, so I went to practice it on canvases.
So Bassem, before you continue, I just want, regarding the wood sculpture and some stuff, I will show you something now, and I want to see if this works or not. Yesterday I bought this. Does it work?
This is the router, right? Ah, yes, yes, but it's not really.
This is the
It
router
works,
for.
but
Okay.
the machine is not really strong, so you cannot go really deep. It's just like to
Okay. Got it. Got it.
shallow
Okay.
sculptures. I really don't have mine here. It's
I guess I'm
somewhere.
gonna start this new job.
Yeah, if you want any
Yes.
tips or tricks, I can tell
Yeah. Of
you.
course. Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course. Okay. So sorry. Continue.
Yes. So this is how it all began. I graduated in 2016, and I started working right away in a company, which was an engineering company, and I was the only architect at this company. It was really tough because you have all the architectural jobs on your shoulders. You have to do everything, from designing,
Yes.
from drawing doing the executional plans, and going to the site to follow up the work. So it was hard. But I remember back then that when I went to this office job, my only intention was, or the only thing I would think of is when I will go back home and draw. So my day was about going to work and then coming back home, have a quick lunch, and then start drawing until 10 a.m., 10 p.m. At 10 p.m., I will go back to sleep, and then I will wake up at 5 or 6 to
Wow.
draw before going to work. So I can earn 2 hours
Wow.
drawing before going to work. Yeah, it was fun at that time before I quit
Okay.
this job. Yeah.
Bassem,
Yes.
Bassem.
Yes.
Abdullah Jabali, يا خيي, show us the sketchbook. تعبته.
Sketchbook isn't with me. I have
ولا
sketchbooks. It's like a lot of books that I'm keeping.
يا
And
كاتب عنده sketchbook. خليه يفرجيك كيف كان يشتغل.
by the way, Abdullah he used to sit next to me during class,
Yeah.
and we used to like imagining the drawing. He would tell me, do this and do that. And I remember that once he told me that you have to do this. So it was a really good idea. So when I started doing like brag each time he sees me doing this, he said, I told you how to do it. I gave you the idea.
The creative mind. He's so creative, mashallah. Yeah,
Yes, he's creative. Yeah.
Abdullah. Okay, Bassem, there's someone asking, can you please show us your old Arabesque sketchbook to show people how you developed yourself? It's Abdullah.
I really don't know if I have something here. It's hard to find. I don't have
it's
something
okay.
here.
No worries. It's okay.
I
It's
wish
okay.
I could.
Yeah.
I always have pieces here and there, but
Yeah, it's okay.
it's
No
not
worries.
near
It's
me
okay.
right now. Yes, yeah.
And then, what was really the inspiration to move you from architecture to Islamic art, or who's the person that inspires you the most? An artist, an architect, not your family, someone else in the architecture field or in the art field that inspired you to move or influenced you to move to this. This is art.
Well, as I told you previously that يعني it was because of art I went into architecture. But during my architectural years, I really admired the work of Bassem Badran. He's a Jordanian Palestinian architect.
Yes.
Who his father restored the mihrab of Al-Aqsa Mosque, and then he combined architecture with Islamic architecture, and how to make a modern version of this kind of architecture, because no one really developed this amazing architecture, which is this Islamic architecture with the atri and the arcades. And so I influenced, and I met him once, and I told him that I really have this passion about Islamic arts. What do you advise me to do or recommend me to do? So he gave me some good recommendations. And he told me this because back then the economical state of the world wasn't really good, and it still is. He told me I had a place in my office so I can recruit you. So I said,
Wow.
no, it's okay. No, unfortunately, yeah. So it was something that I was amazed of.
That's nice.
Yes.
Okay.
So and I really admire another architect, which is the I don't know. I really don't know why. Yeah, I really don't know why I forgot his name. Anthony Gaudi. Who forgot his name?
Anthony Gaudi, yes.
Anthony Gaudi.
Yes.
Yes.
The legend.
Because he worked this art deco, and he used the old architecture of Spain with his own style. If you see, he used the muqarnas, he used the tiles. If you, I think you know his projects, and for example, in many of his projects, like Park Güell, on the rooftops, he will like break some tiles with Arabesque patterns, and then he will just place them on the roof as roof tiles. So I really wasn't amazed of his work, and I'm still am. And he was one of the people who inspired me, actually.
Okay, so the next question is, what is the biggest challenge you faced when you start drawing?
Okay, this is something I want to tell everyone about. When you start something, maybe at the beginning it will look really silly. Don't listen to anyone, or don't listen to criticism. When I started doing these patterns, a lot of people criticize I'm wasting my time. I'm really like doing nonsense, and I like this on something that is more important. But I really knew that it was my passion. I didn't listen to anyone. So this is one of the challenges. Another challenge in my job, as I told you, it was like I was the only architect. It was really hard, and people here, maybe in my country or in the Arab world, it's not they don't appreciate arts like in the Western world.
Yes.
Like they will say that
Yes.
it's like an artwork, or it's nothing. It's you should go and practice your job. You're an architect. You should really like focus all your time on architecture, and these silly things aside are not really important. So you hear a lot of these things from people who are maybe old-minded or old school people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Old school, yeah.
Yeah, so these are mainly the challenges.
Yes, regarding the challenges, I was raised in a place with a village, a small village. So they don't have this knowledge about, yes, they don't have this knowledge about online and tutorials and doing pages and this stuff. So I really faced the same challenges. It's hard at the first, it's hard, but then you just focus on what are you doing, despite everything they are saying or what are they doing, and the bullying and everything. Just when you focus, you just ignore everything. And this is how I did it, and this is how you did it. And it was hard, but at least we made the first step, and we are continuing. And that's it. And Bassem, there's a lot of questions.
I hope they were
Okay.
convinced in the end.
I hope so.
Yes.
I hope so. But I guess it's hard. It's hard, I guess. So Bassem, there's a question on. Let's see. How long have you been drawing? I guess you said that. And
I think it's how long it take. Yes.
Yes. There's a previous question on how long you've been drawing. It's from the same person, Hanin Abbas.
No problem. Welcome to
Lebanon. Welcome to Lebanon. No, it's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
how long does
yes.
each
So
drawing
each
take you to
drawing,
finish? Yes.
yes, it depends on the size actually. But first, a drawing will take me to finish it maybe 2 months if it's really detailed. But later on, it's less. So now, if I'm doing a really big artwork, it's going to take me 3 weeks to a month to finish it.
So, what sizes do you do the most, or do you prefer to draw the most?
Actually, I create my own sizes and I follow the golden ratio, as you know, the 1.618.
Yes.
So I always use, for example, if I want 30 centimeters wide, I have to multiply it by 1.618. And when I design, I will tell you later on what I do usually when I design an artwork. But first, I draw the golden ratio rectangle, place whatever text I have in the middle, and I start designing the artwork. So it starts with
Okay.
this golden ratio, and then I place the text in the middle. I hope the electricity will come back soon.
That's nice. So now we're gonna start a simple presentation on how you start the design process of your drawing and what is the first step to do. And I guess we're gonna go for the basic shapes or something, or we're gonna wait for the
Uh,
electricity to come.
it's better.
Okay, no worries, no worries. Okay, no worries. So,
Okay, but if you
uh,
want, meanwhile, I can speak about how
yeah, of
I
course,
start
yes, yes,
every
yes,
artwork. I can,
yes, of course,
if
yes,
anyone wants to start, where to start and what to do.
yes.
It's really easy, and I will have a text in mind. So I will have a text, for example, a verse from the Quran, poem, or some names, and I'll try to see to put this verse or this sentence in a rectangle. I will take the dimension of this rectangle. I insert this rectangle in the middle of an artwork. I will start designing the grid, because you know each arabesque artwork needs a grid, and
Of
this
course,
is
yes.
what architecture really taught me. Architecture really taught me how to work with proportions, how to combine a grid, and how to have a really nice combination of system all around it, and combine and inserting each pattern inside the grid, so I can have proportionate artwork. So when I
Okay,
design, I will do a small sketch about the art and with dimensions, and then I will start placing or choosing patterns. Which pattern will I choose, and how, and what scales will they be? Because you know there's many scales. For example, I have one here, but I think it's really dark, so it won't be seen. But you know, many scales. You have scale, for example, a small scale, which will be all around the text, and then you will have bigger scales just outside this smaller scale pattern.
okay,
So when I finish, I will have a color distribution in mind. So in the pattern, you know, you have to bring something out and you have to let things go backwards. So, and this is, you work with this with colors. I choose, for example, dark colors to be in the middle, so middle shapes will as, and you work as solid and voids also. And you go with light colors in the back. And I start afterwards executing the drawing. And when I draw, I change a lot of things. As you know, like in architecture, when you start your
yeah, of
project,
course,
many ideas
yeah.
will come up, and you will start like changing and adding stuff. So this is mainly it.
Okay, so Bassem, do you prefer to do a colored drawing or a white or the range of gray drawings?
Actually, I started doing the artworks in black and
Yes.
white, and it was only with pen. I use only a pen. It started with only one thickness, it was 0.2, and then you really learn, and you still learn until death. You never stop learning. So I learned that I should do a combination of several line weights, and then people started recommending me to choose colors and work with colors because it will be more catchy and more stylish. And I was unexperienced in coloring and painting, so I started like coloring with stuff. I made really ugly artworks at that time. I hope you won't see them. And really developed my humble skills in coloring. And now I'm working with I have my own techniques in coloring because I'm working with some active materials. So sometimes I put a base color for this reflective material, and then when I put this paint on this base, I really get a really nice effect. So this is an experience. This will come up in experience.
That's nice. You only draw on constant, or you can move to metal or something else, or you just mainly on constant?
If you're working with your hands, it's better to work on a constant. But if you're working with AutoCAD and you have your pattern and your drawing really prepared, you can work however you want. But mainly when I work with my own hands, I prefer to stick my compass in the canvas and do the grid, because each arabesque has a grid.
Yes. Yes.
I will see if I can
Yeah, of course,
show
yes.
you the laptop, but I think it won't be really visible, right? Is it visible?
Bassem, no, just clean the camera first. No, clean the camera first.
I think it's clean. No, it's
The
clean,
back-
but
the
the
back
problem
camera.
is that
The back camera.
the back camera. Okay.
You can
Okay.
flip. Okay. You can just flip and focus on the screen. It will dim out all the
Okay, wait.
surrounding.
I think the university will come up right now. Okay. Okay. Do you see the
Okay,
screen?
good. Yes.
Okay. So I will explain like until the electricity will come up. This is the main pattern when you start your arabesque drawing. Let me just explain something really quickly.
Yes.
Guys, the Islamic arts is really easy. It's really easy. And sometimes you see, like in architecture, if I will look at this skyscraper like once, you'll see it's a really hard project to do. I will never do a skyscraper or never do a building. But as you know, a skyscraper will start with a sketch, and then the sketch will get developed until you will start the plans. And so everything starts with steps. So don't look at the final decision and get really confused, and it's not that way. So look how easy arabesque is. You start with these simple shapes, only these. And you have three combinations. You have this, which is here, the 4 and the 5. And the 3, I mean the 4, the 3, and the 5. So the 4 here, you start with 4, you divide it into 8 or 16, and then look how I can. So I can draw a rotated square in the middle or a normal square, and then look how we can work with lines until we get a result. So
Wow.
it starts from here, guys. If you know how to draw this, you will get this easily. But the thing is that you have to start here, and you have to start initially. So I drew some shapes. As I said here, we have the rotated square and the normal square from the the 12th division, I can get two shapes. One which is this rectangle, which is radical of 3. And here it's the normal hexagon. So from the hexagon and the radical and this rectangle, you can get these shapes, for example. And you have the fifth fold or the 10th fold. You can get the pentagon, and you can divide it this way. Or you can get this rectangle, and you can divide it this way. And you know, Arabesque is about repetition and symmetry.
Yes.
So you take each one of these and you repeat it, and you will get an infinite artwork, because you, so these are the main shapes. Your Arabesque pattern will start with these, only this. It's not something really hard to do. Every complex pattern you see will start with these shapes and only these shapes. If you're interested in really knowing how to continue this process after drawing your square or your hexagon or your pentagon, check my YouTube channel, Zart's Designs. I've made many lessons and tutorials, so you can watch the step-by-step video until you can earn the skill, and then you watch the second, the third, until you have a really general to do these shapes.
So basically, Bassem, can we show a simple sample drawing on how to start? Just to draw in front of us?
Yes, sure. Type. Let me.
Yes. سكتها من وقتها.
I know it's not February, but I'm trying to
guys, he's YouTube
somewhere.
Okay. So guys, go to YouTube and search for Zart Design, right, Bassem?
Zart Designs, yes.
Zart Designs. Okay, so we're gonna go to YouTube.
Okay, so I'm going to. I'm sorry for this inconvenience and the electricity, you know, but something out of my hands.
It's okay, no worries. No worries. Hello?
Yeah, so I will draw now in front of you a quick pattern. I hope everyone is seeing really clearly. So I will now divide this pattern into 12 folds, and we start. Just follow the steps. If you're, I know you want, you're not drawing now and at the same time, but the thing is
Bassem,
that if you want to
Bassem.
just go to the, yes.
I'm gonna open my AutoCAD, and I'm gonna follow you. Wait.
Okay, great.
Okay, good.
For anyone else who wants to start doing these designs,
so guys, get
go
your
to the
laptops.
YouTube channel Zart's Design. Yes, and start. You can design your first Arabesque now. If you have a laptop, just grab it and start. And it's good
guys,
that I'm speaking with architects, because they will be really easy and fast. So I drew any circle, and then I will draw a horizontal line passing by the center of the circle. Okay, it's easy.
Good. Okay.
Of course, if you want to start with Arabesque, don't start with AutoCAD. Of course, you have to start with your hands. Okay, so it's not really recommended to start. Okay, so if you're drawing, if you're using your hands, you have to draw a circle anywhere, and this is only for people who are not using AutoCAD. But you draw two randoms, and then you have to join the line coming from the intersection. Lily, tablet, wait for a minute. I will get her out from the room.
Okay. Okay.
really concerning online sessions, by the way. Last time I had a
No, it's
session,
okay. No.
and
Okay.
no, listen to this funny story. I had a session, and suddenly my laptop just went confused. I had to restart it, and it took 15 minutes to restart. I don't know why, and people were waiting.
Oh.
So
SubhanAllah.
it's not about the electricity. It's not about Lebanon. It's about me. I'm
It's about
the unlucky one here.
no. You're the best luck.
Okay, so now this wait. Okay, so we two perpendiculars you see here. Okay, it's really
Okay.
need to work. Okay, and now I have 12, so I will draw a circle, the same circle we started in the beginning. I have to repeat it 4 times, so this is 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, and when I finish,
Okay.
I will join these lines. Look closely at what points I'm really joining. This and this, this and this.
This and this.
And I have to erase the circles I drew. So we have now 12-fold circle. It's really easy. You just have to remember the steps. But before remembering the steps, you have to understand it. It's not like you're memorizing something like words or a poem. You have to understand the concept. So if you're into any problem in Arabesque, you know how to solve it. Okay? So now I drew this 12-fold circle. From this, I can come up with a hexagon. So look how I can obtain an hexagon. This hexagon, by the way, I will repeat it until I will get a pattern. Look how I can repeat it many times. You see?
So much confusing.
You see how can I create a pattern? Only with this hexagon. So I go back to my circle. So now I created this hexagon. I will create another hexagon, which is rotated. So the lines that I didn't join, I will start joining them. Okay. So now I will take the L command.
Good. Okay.
And I will link these points together. So I will link and this. I will get 2 parallel lines to the main line here in the center. Okay? I will wait several seconds until it's good. And then I will take these lines and I will create an array from the center. And I will choose I and 12. So I will get this.
How you did it?
Just array. The command array. Look, I will get. Just choose these 2. Okay.
Okay.
And then type AR space.
AR space.
Yes, polar because it's a circle. And choose the center of the circle.
Okay. Okay.
And then write I. Write I and 12.
Okay.
Okay.
I 12.
Yes. Look, you will have like a block in the middle. You have to explode it so you can work with it. And I recommend that you overkill because you will get many lines which are overlapping. So overkill everything. And now what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to extend these lines here. So I'm extending this here in the top, this here, and this here. So I'm skipping 2. I'm skipping 1. I'm extending. So I'm skipping this, and I will extend this. And also this. Okay. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to erase everything like these grid lines and the main circle. I'm going to start deleting these things that are ugly, and I want a shape to be seen in the middle. So you'll get this, and after getting this, I will start. I don't know if you're following up, Jad. Are you good?
I'm confused. But I
I
guess
get
it's good.
the
It's working
point.
good. It's working good.
So look what I got now. I will get my points. You won't imagine how I'm working. I have my camera in front of me and I'm like leaning right to see the screen. So now look, in 5 minutes I got this, but actually it's not right. Why? Because I still have the grid seen. So I have to delete the grid. So I delete this, the hexagons, you know?
Yes.
Huh? Look, in 1 minute, what I got. And this is Arabesque, ladies and gentlemen. It's really easy, but you have to start from somewhere and you have to understand the concept. It's not hard. And if you want to start, I have these tutorial videos on YouTube. You can start there. Mail me and ask me whatever you want. I'm really ready to answer all your questions. And I will be back now. Hello.
Interesting. Interesting.
Actually,
It's
it's
all
really cool
about practice,
when
I
I'm,
guess.
you know, it's cozy talking to you here in the dark. So I'm enjoying it.
Bassem,
Yeah.
Bassem, we're live, okay?
I hope everyone really they got a benefit from this small discussion.
Yes, it was.
Um,
Yes.
I really prepared some. I really any things I really learned during my humble years. So I really wanted to share them. If you don't have a problem.
Of course, yes.
Okay, so start first, if you want, and for all my fellow architects who are listening now, even if you're not architects, if you want to be successful, I'm not saying that I'm successful, but this is really what I saw in people, and this is what I really learned in these 26 years. Never waste time. You have any. Don't say to yourself like I want to spare some time. Never spare some time. If you have time, read. If you have some spare time, develop a hobby, develop a skill. As an architect, you have to learn all the programs that are out there. As an architect, you have to work with photo editing, video editing, 3D models,
Yes,
2D
yes,
drawings,
yes.
everything. You know, there's millions of people graduating every year, and all of them are the same. You don't want to be a simple architect. Just develop some skills. Know where your passion is. For example, if you like furniture, maybe as an architect you can design furniture. You can develop this aside of your architecture job. Okay. Another advice: never underestimate your capabilities. And if you now have a small hobby, don't kill it. Small hobbies really like turn into businesses, and you
Yes.
can make a lot of profit from it, and even you can make really good social impact also. And it's never too late. I know some architects might think that if I'm in the 30s or 40s and I have more things to focus. Yes, it's true, but it's never too late to start from anywhere. Don't say that only young people will start there. We have many examples of architects who really were simple architects until their 40s, and then they had their boom. They went over the top.
Yeah.
Also, don't listen to negative criticism. This is what I told you previously. And something that's really a key feature in success, it's to be organized. To be organized. If you're organized in life, you will have organized thoughts. So you will know how to accomplish your things in time. And by the way, a successful architect who will get a lot of jobs and people will trust him if he submits his work on time. You know, we
Yes.
have a bad reputation that this architect he will he's late and I'm paying him and he's 1 month or 2 months late. I don't want to work with him anymore. You listen to these sentences a lot. So being organized, being on time is something that an architecture should really do.
Of course.
And have positive habits. This is something I really recommend everyone to have, positive habits. For example, I have a positive habit that every day when it's 10 p.m. I stop doing everything and I go to sleep, so I can wake up the next morning at 5 or 6 and to work on something, even if I don't have anything to work on, but maybe you'll have a good read, maybe you will learn a skill at 5 p.m. And 5 p.m. all people will be sleeping, and
Yes.
nobody there to really disturb you, or so you have this time at 5, from 5 to 8, you will do splendid work. I will conclude with reading. People nowadays, they don't read, unfortunately. Social media thing, they are like the patient. They want the quick information. This is not something good for architects. So architects they have to read. They read, they will develop their creativity. Developing creativity,
Of course.
this is what differs an architect from a computer. A computer might do a building now in 5 minutes, but an architect, he has this creative skill which can differ from a computer. So I thank you for letting me say these recommendations, because I really want
Thank
my
you.
the fellow architects that are listening to really follow these matters and do good in their lives.
Thank you. A big thank you to you,
To thank
and I can just
the government of
clap
Lebanon
my hands.
for this.
Yeah. This is the big thanks. Yeah.
I want to thank the
So,
government for their
so
electricity.
Bassem, yeah. Do you have anything to add, or just it's like this? And I guess we get a lot of information from you now. And do you have anything to add?
I really enjoyed this discussion with you, Jad, and I
Thank you.
miss you. And we have to see you
Yes, of course.
soon in
Inshallah.
Lebanon.
Inshallah.
And
Inshallah, I get.
if people want to get to have more info about Arabesque and to see maybe more designs, you can
Yes.
check the page zarts.lb, and the tutorial videos and you waiting for you.
Of course. Bassem, thank you so much for this great live conversation. Guys, Bassem, he's my best friend, and he's always been an inspiration for all of us. He's the youngest in class, but always been an inspiration for all of us in class. And
I'm really
in addition to
humbled.
عبد الله
Thank you very
جبلي,
much.
احسن ما يجي هلا ويقول لنا انه انا شو ف yeah guys, and it was great talking to you, Bassem, and please take
Same
good
to me.
care of yourself, and we are waiting for your great work
Thank you.
in the future, and I hope someday where we come back to Lebanon and see you and we can hang out again.
Yes,
Thank you
sure,
so much,
sure. Oh, thank you very
and
much.
maybe
Thank
we'll
you
see
for
you.
everyone who listened, and
Thank you, guys.
they were really humble
Yes.
listening to a ignorant person like me.
تمام. Okay. Thank you, Bassem.
Okay. الله معك.
يلا
باي باي.
باي. باي باي.